12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
And we begin tonight with breaking news, a look from Sky 12 over Ingram Mall. It is shut down right now as law enforcement searching the area for at least one suspect. They say they were chasing that person who then ditched their vehicle and ran inside the mall. No one is being allowed in the mall. No one is coming out. We first told you about this at the end of the 5 o'clock newscast.
Here's what we know. People inside have been asked to shelter in place as deputies and other law enforcement are looking for that suspect. We do not know why deputies were pursuing the suspect to begin with, but the Bexar County Sheriff's Office says this is not an active shooter situation. However, they do not know if the suspect is armed. We have a crew en route and hope to give you an update with more information at some point during this newscast.
We have another bit of breaking news we've been following just moments ago. A car fire looked just like this on I-35 at St. Mary's. This is video captured right before this newscast started. You can see first responders there putting out those flames. We don't know any details about who was driving that vehicle, where those people may be at this point, but it was certainly something that caught our attention and that of firefighters as they tried to get a handle on those flames here at I-35 in St. Mary's.
Yeah, they made pretty quick work of it. Here's a live look now. Traffic slowly making its way around there, so if you're waiting for somebody to get home tonight from downtown, they're probably going to be a little late as they make their way around the traffic situation because of that fire. Meanwhile, a girl with a severe intellectual disability slapped in the face, dragged by her leg, and then forced to walk on the pavement with no shoes on. The person responsible, a Schertz daycare worker, and it was all caught on camera.
The child's mother telling our Dylan Collier that this is her worst fear becoming reality. We do have a warning. This story contains footage that you might find disturbing.
Lori's behavior is, real aggressive towards her already.
Maricela Gutierrez says raising a child with special needs is an everyday struggle. From disputes with insurance providers to finding a safe place to care for her 13-year-old daughter, Jalen. Jalen suffers from seizures and has a chromosome disorder that prevents her from talking. In late April, an onboard camera was rolling as her school bus dropped her off at Mary's Little Lambs, the Schertz daycare she's gone to for the past 9 years. What happened next is difficult to watch. Daycare worker Lori Dories gets on and immediately tells the child she's going to get in trouble.
Get up right now, right now.
After Jalen twice reaches for Dories, Dories strikes her in the face with an open hand.
You don't do that to me, because I'll get you back, right?
Moments later, Dories pulls Jalen across the floor of the bus by the girl's leg before making her walk across the parking lot without shoes or socks on.
There was no need for her to be taken off the bus that way. If they couldn't handle her or get her off the bus, they should have reached out to me.
Instead, it was Jalen's school district that reached out after the bus monitor reported the actions of Dories.
Well, maybe she didn't know there was cameras, but to do it in the open in front of two people, what was being done when nobody was watching?
Gutierrez contacted Schertz police and state child care investigators, who on April 28th cited Mary's Little Lambs for 4 deficiencies related to the incident. The facility is now on a voluntary plan of action until next January. Its owner says Dories resigned after being moved to kitchen duty away from all children.
But the criminal case stalled out. After Schertz police sent it to municipal court, a police official said that office rejected it.
With Dories cleared of possible criminal wrongdoing, Gutierrez is left to ponder what else might have been done to her daughter.
That's what breaks me every night. Still to this day, the past 4 months, I think about it. What was she enduring inside the daycare?
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
A disturbing situation. Dories declined via email to release a statement about that incident.
New at 6, they voted alongside Democrats, and that led the Bexar County GOP to consider censuring 2 Republican lawmakers, Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Tony Gonzalez. That censure did not end up happening earlier this week, but we're told that it still could. Cornyn and Gonzalez have already been censured by other local GOP branches for breaking with the party on certain issues. Garrett Berger tells us what's happening here locally.
Bexar County GOP Chairman Jeff McManus says it wasn't that the party voted against censuring Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Tony Gonzalez on Tuesday. It was that they couldn't because of procedure since the two men hadn't been notified so they could attend and defend themselves.
In essence, that meant, since that was not done, that those motions to censure were null and void.
The resolutions, which McManus says came from a precinct chair, were never put to a vote. KSAT was unable to get confirmed copies, but the two legislators notably supported the recent gun law that followed the Uvalde massacre. And other counties' censure resolutions mentioned the issue of guns and several other breaks with the GOP.
Republicans voting with the Democrats does not help the unity of the party.
McManus says there was a voice vote that failed at Tuesday's meeting on whether they should extend an invitation to Cornyn and Gonzalez. He says a standing count came out the other way. In either case, McManus says it didn't matter because of the procedural problem, and nothing has been determined.
Those resolutions were tabled, and basically, if the CEC or the executive committee, i.e. all the precinct chairs, choose to bring it forward again, I will facilitate the votes and the actions.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
In an emailed statement, Gonzalez said in part, quote, "I take a county censure seriously because I value the feedback of my constituents. That's why I hold a monthly call with local GOP leaders and schedule frequent town halls. In the aftermath of Uvalde, I voted for the Safer Communities Act because it would have prevented the shooting. I'd vote for it again today and twice on Sunday," end quote.
We are still working to identify the man hit and killed by a train on the south side early this morning. Emergency crews responded around 2 a.m. to the 1500 block of West Hutchins near South Zarzamora. We don't know yet exactly what happened here, but officials believe the victim, a man in his 20s, was standing on the tracks. The engineer did not see him in time to stop. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Some bumps and bruises for a man who was hit by a car on the city's north side late last night. This happened near Blanco and West Avenue right before 10 o'clock. Officers say he was walking along Blanco when he was hit. He was taken to a hospital with minor injuries, is expected to be okay. The driver of the car did stop and try to help and is not facing any charges.
The east side is growing as new businesses look to make a name for themselves and draw more customers to the area. An Austin-based grocery store is the latest business to announce it will soon call the east side home. RJ Marquez spoke to a small business owner and a nonprofit organization about the progress over the years and what's still ahead for the area.
James Morales opened his coffee business on the east side 6 years ago.
My wife and I decided, this is going to be our home ground. Price is affordable. We can give it a shot.
Morales started Pulp Coffee Roasters as a wholesale retailer, but as more people moved to the east side, he saw the chance to sell directly to people living in the area.
So we're still in that hybrid mode and hope to be in the retail outlets so people can actually try things that they've never tried before.
Morales worked with a nonprofit organization, San Antonio for Growth on the east side, or SAGE, to help expand his business.
I want to recruit businesses that want to grow, and I want this community to help those businesses become bigger, better, stronger.
A new business headed to the east side soon is Royal Blue Grocery Store.
Royal Blue is an example of a small boutique grocery store that has the flexibility of kind of learning the market.
But SAGE not only wants businesses to succeed, they also want to train people to work there. St. Philip's College just built 3 new workforce training centers.
Development and workforce training over at St. Philip's, that is how we give our individuals an opportunity to participate.
And Pulp Coffee is just one example of some of the small business growth that we have seen on the east side. James said that he started with a 600 square foot space and has now expanded to a 2,000 square foot facility and a tasting room.
We just hope to see the downtown and the east side and west side and south side, the close pocket of downtown, to come back to life.
Since 2013, SAGE has awarded $1.4 million to more than 170 businesses on the east side for various improvements and to keep owners in the area.
It's going to be made up of San Antonio businesses, homegrown, and it's going to create a culture that can be modeled everywhere else. But it's going to start here.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight's History Untold has the makings of a movie someday. A story of a slave freed by his father, who would go on to earn the nation's highest military honor, the first black Texan to do so, soon after President Abraham Lincoln created the Congressional Medal of Honor. Jesse DeGollado says the story certainly intrigued a student at St. Mary's University.
Here at the San Antonio African American Community Archive and Museum, a history and political science major, Patrick Cohen, proudly shared the research he'd done about Milton Holland.
You can kind of tell he could have passed for white, but he didn't. He owned his African heritage.
What was most impactful learning, says Cohen?
His father, being an enslaver, also went on to be his liberator.
Holland went on to fight for the North in the Civil War, and when all the white officers were killed or wounded in some heated battles.
Milton Holland actually took command of the forces and led a courageous charge against the Confederates.
Saving the day earned the nation's highest military honor for more than a dozen of his African American troops, Holland being the first black Texan.
For a long time, blacks were just thought of for the Army as, oh, they will dig the latrines, they'll do the cooking and the cleaning, but they couldn't fight.
A notion disproved, says Cohen, by the bravery of black troops in the Civil War. Milton Holland went on to start the first black-owned insurance company in Washington, D.C., never returning to Texas. Now that he's shared his research with SACAM, they tell me it'll help spread the word about who Milton Holland was and what he did.
We really want to share this story and give Milton Holland the recognition that he deserves.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam. We've been really hoping for some payoff from these clouds.
Look, there's a drop.
Oh, one whole drop there.
We can celebrate a drop.
It's about what we've been getting today and yesterday, right?
We need a good soaking for that camera. The outer casing for the lens is starting to get a little dirty. We need good driving rain to wash it off. And there are a few isolated showers that have popped up around parts of San Antonio and surrounding communities. This is over the past half hour. We'll take a look first at the southwest side of town. This is basically between I-35 and Highway 90. Lacoste Road, moving to McDonough here. A little bit of activity along there. It's really just drifting around. It doesn't have a whole lot of movement toward it or movement to it. Alamo Ranch got clipped by a little shower, a little brief downpour, and you move your way around. And on the north side of town, right along 410 here near Lee High School, Castle Hills area, this downpour recently popped up. It's already starting to fizzle out. I know a lot of high schools have some pep rallies outdoors this evening at 7 o'clock. Most of this action is just quick splash and dash. I'd just wait it out if I were you. And even on the north side of town, we had one downpour over Stone Oak and Camp Bullis, but that has since dissipated. Again, this is quick activity, highly isolated, and no lightning associated with it yet. 10 to 20% chance through 8 o'clock, then mostly cloudy, temperatures falling through the 80s and a southeasterly breeze at 10 to 15 miles per hour. System in the Gulf of Mexico we're tracking as it heads toward Texas and are increasing rain chances as well. Coming right up.
We are still waiting to get some details from local law enforcement, but we want to update you on this breaking news situation we've been telling you about since the end of the 5 o'clock over at Ingram Park Mall. They have this whole area shut down at this point and people inside sheltering in place. This all started with a BCSO pursuit. We don't know why they were pursuing this person, but the suspect at some point stopped and was able to get inside Ingram Park Mall, and now SAPD and BCSO are on scene.
Yeah, you can tell that the parking lot looks a little thin there. Well, people were told to stay away from the mall. People were told to shelter in place if they could not get out. So again, as Tim mentioned, this started with a chase involving the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. They have said this is not an active shooter situation, but at this point, law enforcement does not know whether the suspect here is armed with any kind of weapon. This is a look from the ground there at the doors of the mall. You can see the heavy law enforcement presence, but again, nobody being allowed in that mall right now. Law enforcement combing the mall itself, trying to find out if that suspect is still in there. We're trying to get more information about why this person is wanted, and certainly, hopefully, this will come to a safe end soon, and we will keep you updated as we get further information. But Ingram Park Mall shut down right now as SAPD and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office search for that suspect involved in a car chase that has now gone inside the mall.
All right, shifting gears to the weather. We have seen cooler temperatures this week, couple of people have gotten some rain, but certainly not the big drought-ending, busting rain we certainly need.
No, some drought-denting rain over the weekend and earlier this week, and even what we had last night in parts of the hill country. Now, I'm going to go over that in more detail coming up next half hour, show you the drought monitor and then the radar on top of it. But right now, I really need to get to these little pop-up showers that have developed over parts of San Antonio, and you can see not a lot of activity on the radar screen in general. Little outflow boundary has been moving through town, and it's just enough to kickstart. Look at those, maybe 3-4 little downpours and fairly brief ones. Going the city's far southwest side, we're talking along and outside of 1604, between Highway 90 and I-35, outside of Lacoste, and even around Alamo Ranch, still seeing some areas of rain. That's nice to see on the city's far west side, just north of Highway 90, and a few sprinkles possible closer to Lackland Air Force Base and especially around 410, but no reason to cancel any outdoor plans for the rest of this evening. You see this one downpour over Castle Hills, 410. This has been weakening significantly. Latest scan shows it shrinking even more. These are collapsing pretty quickly, and a good example of that is the last half hour on the far north side of town, just north of 1604, roughly Stone Oak, Camp Bullis area. Outflow boundary moved in, flared up that downpour, and it lasted all of maybe 10-15 minutes, and there's nothing on the east side of town at the moment either, with that boundary pushing westward. Here's the big picture, and we did see some good rain across parts of the Lone Star State today, especially in and around the Houston area up toward Lufkin, and even West Texas cashing in on some activity as well. It's good to see some action developing and flaring up in West Texas and in and around I-10 far west of us. But we do need to talk about this tropical disturbance, this area that's developing in the southern Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche. The Hurricane Center calls it potential tropical cyclone 4. It was a potential tropical cyclone days ago. Aren't they all potential? Anyway, it's basically a tropical depression. I'm not going to get onto my soapbox here. It's basically a tropical depression. They're probably going to give it the name Danielle tonight or on into tomorrow, but it's going to be looks like a very weak tropical storm. It's running out of real estate in the western Gulf of Mexico. Here's the latest forecast from the Hurricane Center. Wind gusts up to maybe 40-45 miles per hour around and south of Brownsville with this as we get into the weekend, especially late Saturday on into early Sunday. Nonetheless, then the leftovers of it basically veered just to the southwest of San Antonio. Here's a good example of its likely impact here. Look at the futurecast. It's just going to throw a few bands of rain northward along the Gulf Coast from about South Padre Island all the way up to Matagorda Bay. And we'll just see a few of those passing showers here and there along the coastline, and maybe a few of them drifting in some of our eastern counties along the coastal bend there. But that's about it. In terms of overall rainfall potential from this, not a drought busting or drought denting tropical system. Look at the rainfall potential through Sunday. And we're talking maybe a half inch here or there along parts of the coast. Obviously, there could be some exceptions within the downpours, but overall, not a very impactful system that's moving our way. So even though it may get a name, that doesn't mean it's a dangerous system necessarily. All right, let's get into our forecast for next week. Better odds of rain around here. We got it up to 40% now, so scattered activity, likely tropical downpours, some heavy rainfall just coming and going, developing and dissipating off and on starting next Tuesday. So that's looking promising. A lot of time between now and then, and we'll be fine-tuning the forecast, though, so you need to check back in for updates. 97 our high temperature today. That's 1 degree above average. 87 right now, Gonzales. 89 in New Braunfels. 97 in Hondo, 90 Converse, Pleasanton 99 and burning out 84 degrees. We'll start the day tomorrow at 76, by noon 90, high temperature of 96, and just a 10% chance of a stray shower to tomorrow afternoon, up to a 20% chance on Sunday. So generally the weekend looking dry and a decent amount of sunshine. Mid 90s, pretty average for this time of year. Below 100 next week as well, and even dropping down into the upper 80s with those better rain chances by Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe.
That may be my favorite update on the tropics ever.
Uh-oh.
You keep it real.
Give me my soapbox.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, Larry, there has been a very intense competition to be the starting quarterback up in Austin. Do we know who has pulled ahead?
We do know, and actually UT named the starting quarterback earlier this afternoon. The battle was down between Hudson Card and Quinn Ewers, and we got that for you. Plus, get yourself ready for the Big Man Challenge out of UTSA practice coming up. Texas football has named Quinn Ewers as the Longhorns starting quarterback. The transfer from Ohio State beat out Hudson Card. Texas Sports Information Director John Bianco made the announcement today following post-practice interviews. He told the media he had a message from Coach Sark saying Ewers is the starter. Here's what Hornets tight end Jatavion Sanders said about the two QBs minutes before Bianco broke the news.
They definitely both have progressed well. Like from Quinn first getting here, him picking up on offense, Hud just gaining more confidence for sure. I love them both. They both great guys. They both throw the ball well, can move in the pocket, can scramble if they need to. Definitely smart for sure, and I like that about both of them.
Ewers was the #1 overall prospect in the class of 2021. He'll get to warm up Saturday, September 3rd at home with Louisiana Monroe 1 week before UT will host #1 Alabama September 10th.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Houston Texans will play at the LA Rams tonight at 9 in their second preseason game. They opened the preseason by coming back to beat the Saints 17-13 at NRG Stadium. Head coach Lovie Smith was asked what are some of the biggest things he's looking for tonight.
Improvement. You know, the guys that played last week, set the bar then. Improvement. And the guys that didn't play last week, just to get them some game action. It's no more than that. We like to have a healthy crew after the game. And as I think I said, the third preseason game, we will play our guys that game. That's the game that we pinpoint. So again, just a little bit more improvement from this group.
QB1 Davis Mills, who played 2 series last week, should see a little more playing time tonight. Earlier this week, UTSA football wrapped up practice with the Big Man Challenge. 2 guys from the trenches lining up to catch a punt. Defensive lineman Brandon Brown makes the grab initially, but drops it, and the guys can't believe it. Coach Traylor said he was surprised Brown didn't hold on. Enter offensive lineman Kevin Davis, and he comes through in style, snagging the punt. It's all fun and games, of course, when a big old lineman comes through just like that.
I've just been doing it a long time, and I just wanted to laugh a little bit. And those big guys always talk crud, those little guys, So sometimes it's good for those big guys to see what that's like. The stress it put on Brandon Brown and Kevin Davis's face, just watching them prepare for that, like the stress level, it was like they were getting ready for a final exam that they had not studied for at all, right?
Coach said there was no reward for Davis catching the ball and that it got them out of some running. Incarnate Word football tasted major success last season, and of course they want more. Yes, they lost a few big pieces from that 10-3 squad a season ago, but they have plenty of talented players coming back as they look to defend their Southland Conference championship.
Anything less than a national championship is a bust, honestly. We've been working hard. We had a good team last year, so I'm even more excited for this team right here. We've been putting in the work. We've been working all summer. I'm excited for us.
Incarnate Word will host Southern Illinois University Saturday, September 3rd at 6 p.m.
It's almost time, Larry.
Oh, it's
Yes.
here.
Saturdays are going to be fun.
Yes.
We'll be right back. South Texas kids are heading back to school this month. A lot of them already there. And for so many kids, that is a source of food. It is a place where a lot of kids get perhaps their only meal of the day. Hunger is a real problem in San Antonio and South Texas. And to talk about that, we would like to welcome Eric Cooper, who is president and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank, to join us during the Q&A today. Eric, thanks for being here. It's always important what you guys do. The need is always there. But how does it change this time of year in terms of who all the food bank serves as kids, as families are able to look at schools as a place where their kids can be fed?
No, absolutely, Myra. With the inflation being as high as it is and a really hot summer, utility bills, all-time highs, we've seen a significant increase in the demand at the food bank, roughly 10 to 15% over last year. So that number has had us busy. We're hoping for some relief as kids do go back to school. Breakfast and lunch provided through the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program nourishes a lot of kids in school. And so we hope that will, slow up some of the demand, but we will shift from our daytime meals to after school meals. And then, do everything we can to make sure no child goes hungry this school year.
Eric, obviously inflation and rising costs driving more people to your doors, but you all have to deal with those same costs as well. You've got truck drivers, you've got food coming in. How has the food bank been able to deal with inflation and the costs like everybody else?
Well, the supply chain has truly been disrupted. So we are feeling the shorts and opportunities just are limited. And so getting creative as we can. And one of the ways we're creative is we leverage volunteers. And we've been so blessed with so many residents coming to volunteer all summer long. But as school is started, people have a little less time. And so we're seeing the dip of volunteers. So if you can, please, in our warehouse, in our kitchens, out on the farm, and at all the distribution sites, we could sure use some volunteers. It's what makes it all happen. And so please come out and go to our website. It's super easy. Register and volunteer.
And you talked about some of the opportunities, the places where people can volunteer. Describe those a little bit for us. If people are interested in doing that, what does that work look like? We're showing, images of people loading up cars during a distribution event, but how can people actually be hands-on in volunteering?
Absolutely. So these are the heroes that viewers are seeing right now. There are volunteers working on the front line at Northside Independent School District. They are loading cars. The food is oftentimes delivered to those strategic distribution sites, and then it's the volunteers that package up those benefits and issue those to the recipients. And, we've got 5 different kitchens that we operate to provide prepared meals to families. And so there's opportunities to come and help prep those meals and serve those meals. And then in our warehouse, we've got all of the, packing of the boxes and sorting of the food, getting it ready to go out to now 825 different nonprofits throughout 29 counties. So it's a huge endeavor. So anyone in the viewing area that wants to volunteer, we can connect you to one of our distribution sites so that you can make a difference for neighbors in need.
How is that warehouse looking? I remember earlier this year we were there and the shelves were just so empty. Have you guys been able to get them more filled up? And what seems to be the hardest items for you all to get a hold of that maybe used to be easy?
Well, you are, again, so thoughtful, and it has been tough. We're at an all-time low in the warehouse at the moment. Just the demand for food being much greater than the supply coming in. And so these empty shelves, unfortunately, are what we have in our warehouse. And we're working with lots of great grocery retailers. H-E-B is a huge partner, and looking at where there's opportunities for us to source food. I'd say we're anxious about the holidays, and with bird flu affecting a lot of fowl, the cost of proteins, chicken and turkeys, is at an all-time high. But peanut butter is still our #1 needed item, and one of the things that we use to nourish kids throughout South Texas. And so if anyone has a jar of peanut butter they'd like to donate, or they can donate financially to help us in our acquisition and distribution of that peanut butter, it spreads a long way in the fight against hunger.
Oh, we see what you did there. And that may be something that people are thinking about at home. Okay, perhaps they don't have the time or the money to donate, but they can pick up a few extra cans of something at the grocery store. Is that an opportunity for people to give food in that way? And if so, how?
Oh, absolutely. We always need non-perishable food items. Things that your family enjoy are the things that you'll want to buy. Now, if you can help with peanut butter, jelly, we're always looking for staple items like rice, beans, soup, chili, stew, anything with protein like a tuna fish or a canned meat goes a long way. But you can drop those off directly at the food bank, or you can visit our website, safoodbank.org, to find a more convenient location if you're not near us. But we'll be collecting non-perishable canned goods always. It's a great supplement to what we're able to source and get to families. And it's a way that you can get your kids involved, go out and grocery shop, collect, purchase those items, and then take it and look for the red donation barrels with our logo on it. And we'll get those canned goods to families in need.
So many ways to help. There's one right there on the bottom of your screen, safoodbank.org, ways to help, where you can sign up to be a volunteer and find other ways that you can help out our folks. In so much need here in San Antonio. Eric Cooper, thank you so much for your time and everything you guys do there at the food bank. We appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Back to that late breaking news. We are continuing to keep an eye on the situation there at Ingram Park Mall, where law enforcement is looking for a suspect that was involved in a pursuit who then ended up inside the mall.
And we do have a crew there on the scene gathering some more information for us. So let's go live out to the mall with our Camelia Juarez. Camelia, what can you tell us? What have you learned there?
Now, so far, we've been here for about half an hour, and so far we've seen about a dozen Bexar County Sheriff's officers, mostly at the entrances of Dillard's and Macy's. They're blocking the entrances. We've also seen about 4 San Antonio police officers that came in, talked to the deputies, and then drove away. Otherwise, we've seen San Antonio police directing traffic. As far as we know, the mall is closed and people are still trying to get out of there. We're also told that Sheriff Salazar is on his way to give us more information, so when we learn that, we'll let you know. And as we've reported already, it's unclear why this man went into the mall or was being chased to begin with. Back to you.
And here's another look at Sky 12 down on Ingram Park Mall. The parking lot mostly empty at this point, but you can see they're closer to the entrance, the law enforcement gathering there. Looked like the SWAT team also was gearing up outside. We'll continue to keep an eye on this over on the northwest side as we wait for more information from authorities.
All right, let's turn to the weather now. Look outside with live cam right now. We've had a bunch of rain chances, which has been great. So what's the latest on this, Adam?
Well, I still think for the most part, we're focusing on next week. We have a little bit of activity. I mean, 1 or 2 leftover highly isolated downpours that cover maybe about 1 square mile or even 2, but that's about it. Otherwise, rain chances really falling off to about 10% the rest of the night. 92 right now. By 8 o'clock, we'll be in the upper 80s. 10 o'clock, 84 degrees. We have those low clouds. It looks like it could rain. Again, just 1 or 2 have popped up, but most of that action is coming to an end right now and dissipating. We'll take a closer look at the radar, and I'll show you the trend over the past hour and also talk about those better rain chances and that little system in the Gulf of Mexico as that heads towards South Texas in just a bit.
For the first time ever, Americans spent more time watching streaming services than cable TV. According to new Nielsen data, streaming captured 34.8% of TV viewing in July, while cable TV viewing was at 34.4%. The total time U.S. viewers spent streaming jumped over 22% from the year earlier.
Meanwhile, cable went down almost 9%. Netflix, Hulu, and Prime Video were among the many platforms which set records for viewing time. Nielsen found that Netflix was the most watched streaming service in July, bolstered by, in part, its Stranger Things franchise. The latest data shows that streaming services have mushroomed over recent years.
I believe it. All right, so we got something else to watch. Rain chances. We are hoping for some rain. We've seen these clouds off in the distance. Little teaser out there.
That's exactly what they are. Even just the low clouds right overhead. And it's been fairly gray this afternoon, but not much to show for the gray clouds. Let's get to the radar screen. Big picture doesn't show a whole lot. Not much out there. You really have to zoom in really tight into the parts of the city to see the showers. And there's just 2 left right now. One on the far west side, we're talking Highway 90 and 1604. Okay, that's far west side of town, just west of Lackland, and then we go a little farther to the north, right over Helotes, but this one is dissipating. Just the last radar scan had more oranges and reds right over Helotes, and this is the neighborhood just north of Houseman Road. So 1604 Houseman Road, just outside of 1604. This is falling apart and collapsing very quickly. And you look over the past hour, nothing else developing. The east side of town, I don't think you'll get anything because the outflow came from the east, and it really took until it made it to about 410 on the west side of town to really develop anything. So I think from here on out, just that rogue 10% chance is about it. All right, let's take a look at the drought monitor. 93% of Texas is considered in drought. That's actually a 4% improvement upon last week. baby steps. Usually it takes baby steps to get out of drought. Biggest improvement down in the valley and far deep South Texas. But locally, we actually improved a little bit. That will be reflected on the next drought monitor that comes out next Thursday. And that's where we had some showers overnight, particularly around Lakey, even Edwards County, Riall County, and parts of the Hill Country. We had some relief there. So that'll be reflected in next week's drought monitor, but over 3.5 inches measured in Lakey last night from that complex that developed. And you look across the state today, it's good to see some activity out there. Far West Texas, East Texas, especially in and around Houston. So more improvements just chipping away at that drought slowly but surely right now. Baby steps, right? Now we have potential tropical cyclone 4. Basically, it's a little tropical depression, okay? I don't know why we have this new naming convention, but any wave out there is a potential tropical cyclone. Either way, it's a weak system in the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be headed toward deep South Texas. It still will likely develop a little bit more. It would not surprise me if the if the National Hurricane Center gives us a name. That would be Danielle. But even when it gets a name, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a dangerous or damaging storm, okay? What we're looking at now and forecast-wise is gusts to about 45 miles per hour. That's as it heads toward Brownsville and South Padre Island area, and especially south of there in parts of northeast Mexico. Now, keep in mind, our winter cold fronts can often bring winds higher than this, okay, just to put it in perspective. And our thunderstorms often bring winds higher than that. That's not even severe thunderstorm criteria when it comes to winds. So wind's not really an issue with this unless something drastically changes between now and midday tomorrow. And even by Sunday afternoon, really nothing left as the remnant circulations near Laredo. I mean, you look at the rainfall potential through Sunday with this, and along the coastline, we could have some pockets of about a ½ inch or so, but that's about it. Basically, just a few quick moving rain bands moving south to north from Brownsville, South Padre Island, all the way up to Matagorda Bay, even Port Aransas area. Our better rain chances, they come next week with that shift in our pattern. We've got the scattered category, so about 40%. It's not a slam dunk for every neighborhood. I want to point that out right now, and there's still a lot of time between now and then, so we will be fine-tuning the forecast. Right now we have it at 40% with some isolated downpours likely to, or scattered downpours, I should say, likely to develop. 92 right now. Dew point is 69, feels like 97. Alpine, 74, rain-cooled air. Midland, 76, rain-cooled air. Austin, 77. Say it with me, rain-cooled air. It's good to see that on the map. Meanwhile, 99 Eagle Pass and still 94 in Pleasanton, 85 in Seguin, 97 though in Hondo. And tomorrow on Saturday, we'll start the day at 7 a.m., 76 degrees, low clouds in the morning, may look like it's going to rain, but it's highly unlikely that we'll see any showers in the morning, and then just a 10% chance by the afternoon. Mid-90s for the high temperature and a southeasterly wind at 10 to 15. Sunday, not all that different, 95, so seasonable, partly cloudy, a 20% chance on Sunday. So slightly better odds on Sunday. We'll have a few extra showers popping up, but increasing shower activity likely to come and go and dot the landscape toward the middle of next week, starting around Tuesday. That's the way it looks right now. And that 100-degree day record, we're one day away from it. It's proving challenging now this August, and we're going to be under 100. Through next week.
Starting to look like summer burned itself out early.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
Here's today's In Case You Missed It. A daycare worker caught on camera slapping a child with a severe intellectual disability and then pulling her across the floor of a school bus by her ankle. A warning, the video you're about to see is disturbing. That incident happened in late April outside Mary's Little Lambs, a daycare facility in Schertz. The footage shows the woman get on board the bus and then slap the 13-year-old girl in the face before grabbing her by the ankle and dragging her toward the steps to exit the bus. The girl, who has a chromosome disorder, was forced to walk across the pavement barefoot. Suspect seen in this footage will not be criminally charged, but the facility was heavily cited by state child care investigators because of this incident.
And a man is dead after he was hit by a train on the south side. This happened around 2:30 this morning on West Hutchins, not far from South Zarzamora. Police say the man was standing on the tracks and the engineer could not stop in time.
The remains of a World War II veteran who died in combat nearly 80 years ago have been identified. That's according to a federal agency. It says U.S. Army Air Force Sergeant Elvin Phillips died in the summer of 1943. Phillips' remains could not be identified back then. Scientists used modern forensics, including DNA analysis, to make the identification.
Shoppers at a Boston area mall got an eyeful yesterday when they saw an SUV inside the mall driving down the second level. Now, police say an elderly woman somehow drove her SUV down a pedestrian bridge and through automatic doors leading inside the mall. A recent accident knocked out a safety barrier in front of the doors, and that allowed the SUV to pass through them. Officers say that she made it about 60 yards into the mall. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
As we wrap up the 6, one more update on that breaking news at Ingram Park Mall. Bexar County Sheriff's Office releasing this image just a short time ago of the suspect entering Ingram Park Mall after that pursuit.
This is the person who went into the mall, caused that mall to be shut down, no one being let in or out. The sheriff is going to give us an update. Check that out at KSAT.com and on the Night Beat at 10.